Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're reacting to episode 1 of series 1 of Vinland Saga, and this is a show that everyone has been nagging me to watch. I just haven't had the time until recently. For context, I just started a new job role, which is granting me a lot more flexibility. So I am filming this after finishing work. I was able to finish work early, which is great. So that has given me some time on this wonderful Friday afternoon, because today is the 19th of September, to do some filming, which gives me some spare time over the weekend to edit for a third series. See, this is the thing. If I was a full-time content creator, watching everything would be fine. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time, especially with all the editing that I have to do. So I'm hoping now that if I film on a Friday afternoon, Saturday daytime, and then edit on Sunday, that will free up quite a bit of my week. It means I can get the weekly content done and out the way. And it also gives me a day that I'm off to edit, do all my chores, and also play some games as well and just relax. I am currently filming Saturday and Sunday, and it's quite exhausting trying to find time to do everything that I need to do before work starts again on the Monday. So I'm hoping that now I am in a more flexible job position, I will be able to finish earlier consistently, and then that will allow me to film more for you guys and start having more content on the channel. So we are going to be watching Apothecary Diaries, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Vinland Saga. And I did try to see if I could fit in Jujutsu Kaisen, because I know on Patreon it was the second highest voted. I don't have time to commit to that. So I am just going to focus on Vinland Saga for now. We'll watch Jujutsu Kaisen after one of the shows ends. Yeah, I am looking forward to watching Vinland Saga. And before anyone says in the comments, I do know the author of Vinland Saga is also friends with Isayama from Attack on Titan, and that's why everyone wanted me to watch Vinland Saga, because they influence each other and they're good friends, and some of the themes of Attack on Titan are also in Vinland Saga, from what I've gathered. But this is set in the era of the Vikings. I do not know much about Viking history. I know quite a bit about court politics and those dynamics, hence why I really enjoy Apothecary Diaries, because I actually kind of understand what's going on, especially in relation to like eunuchs and concubines. I know the context of that, whereas I don't really know much about Norse history or Norse mythology. I know bits and pieces, but not enough to really inform my perspective of the show. So I do apologize if this is not like the most analytical in terms of the Norse context, but I am new coming into this. The one thing I do know is that when people got married, they used to be given cats as wedding gifts, because the goddess Freya had a chariot that was pulled by cats, and it was seen as blessing their marriage to be long and fruitful, because I believe Freya is the goddess of marriage. So that's the one fun fact that I remember, because I love cats. So that would literally be my dream, is getting married one day and just being given a cat. And I'm like, yes, that is everything to me. Thank you so much. I will take these 500 cats and I will love every single one of them. So hit me up, guys. I'm kidding. So I am looking forward to seeing how this plays out, seeing how the themes interconnect with Attack on Titan, though I probably won't focus on that as much, because this is its own show within its own right, with its own narrative themes. So I don't want to sort of cross-reference it too much. Of course, if something comes up that is similar, I will mention it, but I want to give the show its own light to shine and to focus on what this author is showing us, rather than constantly linking it back to Isayama and their friendship, because again, yes, they may draw inspiration from each other, but I want to give the show the attention that it deserves without constantly going back to Attack on Titan. Without further ado, though, because I don't really have much more to say for an intro because I don't quite know what to expect other than there's Vikings and it's Norse history, but we are going to get into episode 1. Oh, the music is really good. Why do I feel like this is the calm before the storm? Oh shit, okay, so this is like a flashback to his wife and child because he's away raiding? Either raiding or defending. Oh, the animation's really good. Thinking about his wife, he'd rather be there than here.
お前は不老気が詰めてきたところで一気に戦線を押し上げる。サイコロ頭な。まあいいけどよ。でお前は敵の足を止める。
He's gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna be here for like 5 minutes and then he's probably gonna die. God, he's quick, isn't he? Jeez! Man of many talents. Four. I don't know if that's meant to be like hearkening to the gods. I wonder if the gods are immersed in this world, if there's mythology. Don't know. Oh. Yikes. He can hold his breath for a while. Also the fact that like he's not really sinking. I imagine the armor must be somewhat lighter or they're skilled enough that it doesn't impact them because obviously when you're a seafaring people, you kind of have to get used to the idea of being in water, but is he gonna die? I have a feeling he's gonna die. Has he just decided, fuck it, I'm out? It's like, I'm done. I don't want to fight anymore. Fair. I'd be the same. I'd be like, I want to go home. I wonder then if that's his son, because we saw Helga and a baby, and we don't know how long he's been away. So could that be his child grown? Weaving always fascinated me. I think it's just so cool. Also, if that's his dad, he's called Thors and he's Thorfinn. So like, could Thorfinn mean like son of Thor? So that must be the baby that we got a glimpse of. Is he dreaming of a life elsewhere? Or is he just sensing a disturbance in the waves? He's dreaming of exploration in worlds away from here, away from the farm. America? It looked like a Native American headdress. And we do know that the Vikings did go to America, but maybe Greenland is what they're referring to here. Or something else entirely. I thought when he said the new continent, in my head I was like, America. Maybe it is America.
彼らからの贈り物さ。
But they're calling it
いいか
Vinland.
こいつはな、真の戦士だけが身に
Okay,
つけ
maybe
られ
I
る
was
ものだ。
right. It's his dad. So how long's his dad been back for? I thought maybe his dad was gonna arrive all of a sudden.
西にはヨルムンガンドがいて近づく船をみんな食べちゃうんだ。そんで
Like
その
he's
先は
child.
何にもないんだ。
だからそう
I know
だ
that
からこそ
much.
わしの偉さがわかるだろう。
あいたいレイフさん、戦士じゃないじゃん。
ああ
Oh wow, he's a cheeky one.
戦働きだけが戦士ではないぞ。船乗りは海と戦っとる。すごいんだぞ。
I thought at first the dad hadn't arrived back yet, and this episode was going to kind of maybe deal with the dad arriving back and seeing his son now growing up and not really understanding his son because he's been away for so long. But it looks as if he's been back for a while, I guess, because he's fully settled in. But maybe we'll see more of that. I'm suspecting something's going to come up that's relevant to what we've just seen in terms of the battle. In terms of narrative, what I think is probably going to happen is somebody's going to show up towards the end of the episode and is like, you tried to kill me, fuck you, and then takes revenge on him. And then that would grant Thorfinn the opportunity to leave Iceland to pursue those that killed his father in some revenge arc, because that just seems to be the direction it's kind of hinting at, because we focus on Thorfinn quite a bit, which I'm wondering if that means like son of Thor. It could be because his dad is Thor, so he could be Thorfinn, son of. But yes, I have a feeling something is going to come up from that battle. And it could either be because it looks like he deserted. It looked like he just went, fuck this, I'm out, I'm going home. And somebody is coming to sort of kill him because he's a traitor, technically, or somebody that he was fighting against, aka the enemy. We don't really know much about them. They could be another clan, they could be ransackers. We don't know who they're fighting, so it could be that it is a rival clan that they are attempting to eliminate. They weren't successful, and somebody that he tried to kill maybe comes back into the picture and then kills him in turn. He's been looking for revenge, which would then set Thorfinn on his narrative journey to avenge his father's death, which could end up being, if I had to think about it logically in terms of what I've seen so far and how I would narrate, it seems like a revenge narrative. It seems like this is where it's probably going to go. Like the son hell bent on avenging the father and maybe having to learn to let go of that vengeance, maybe having to learn to let go of his anger and hatred towards those that have done him wrong, and that it's a journey to realization, from naivety to wisdom. In a sense, he goes from being angry, hot-headed and rash to coming to terms with maybe the fact that he needs to forgive and move on. Or it could play out as like a tragic revenge narrative, which typically revolves around the revenge being successful, but then you're so weighed down by the guilt of it that you end up like not being satisfied and realizing that the revenge didn't help things. It didn't make you feel better. It didn't do anything. And you kind of then have to deal with the mental consequences of that and coming to terms with the fact that whatever's broken inside of you needs to be fixed, because the revenge doesn't fix it. It doesn't help anything. But the reason I think it's going to be a revenge narrative is because it's focusing a lot on the son. It's focusing on the way that he's looking out at the sea and being so amazed by this idea of the world outside of the small farming village that he's in. He's obsessed with the stories he's hearing about Vinland. We know that the title is Vinland Saga, so it is about a journey and adventure to Vinland. So we already are being set up for him wanting to escape this life and to explore the world out there. And what better way to force a young boy into exploring the world than the death of a father or the death of a family member or the destruction of your home, or maybe all three, but we shall see as it goes. But that's so far what's standing out to me and making me think revenge arc, revenge narrative that's going to take place over the course of the next series and possibly series 2 is his dad dies or his home is destroyed or both, or his mom dies and he decides that he needs to track down whoever it is that did it, and then he goes on this journey to Vinland because that's where his enemy is. But obviously the revenge mission is going to be like an overarching theme, so we're going to see him most likely begin his journey and go with him on this journey, and either series 1 will end with him coming to the realization that it's not worth it and his attempts to then let go and move on and forgive, or he does it and then realizes that whatever's broken inside of him cannot be fixed by the revenge, and maybe then series 2 will be him wrestling with having to overcome that loss and the mental toll that it has on him. Animation is really, really good. The music's really, really good. This is shaping up to be a very interesting show.
冒険ばっかで戦の役に立たないって。
周りに流されて
Wow.
トルフィンは信じるよな。
He's getting absolutely berated.
すると何か戦にも行かない冒険おじさんの言うことなぞ信用できってか。
Maybe.
だって僕の父上が戦士って言うんなら本当だけど。
ホールズ、こいつらバカにするんじゃビシッと言ってやってくれ。
So based on their house, is he like a clan chief or...
ご苦労様。弱ってるのはこの2頭だけだったよ。
おお、寒かったな、ユルバちゃん。おじさんが温めてあげよう。
スケベ親父。
It's like, don't touch me.
また風邪ひくよ。大丈夫よ。羊をつなぐから手伝って。
She doesn't look old enough to be her mother. God damn.
わしは往復してきたさ。
進め！フィンランドはすぐそこだぞ！
He's having dreams. He wants to go on his little adventure. He's so cute.
姉上、自分のベッドに行きなよ。狭いよ。やだ。ずるいぞ。
Oh.
このベッドは僕が温めたんだから。まだお話ししてる。
Are they planning to leave?
気にしなくていいのよ。心配事は大人の仕事なんだから。それよかおいで。姉上が抱っこしてあげる。
I have a feeling something horrible is going to happen because they're giving us some really cute moments.
ねえ、父上。どうしてうちは奴隷を買わないの？
よそはよそだ。毎年聞くな。
変わり者なんだから。
No, he's shown himself to be a very noble man.
ユルバ。
おお、死ぬかと思った。
どうした？
この下、なんか。
Oh, is it the person from before with the chain?
ユルバ。
Yeah. It looks like he's run away, so maybe he's run away from slave traders?
じゃあさ、この船に乗せてよ。自分の目で見れば信じるよ。
アホ。そういうのを信じるとは言わん。船に乗りたいなら父上に乗せてもらえよ。俺、あそこに軍船もある。代々村で使ってるそうだが。
It is really cool of a design.
父上はケチだもん。何度頼んでもダメなの。
Because he wants to protect you, probably. The sea is dangerous.
怖いぞ。わしは若い頃、流氷に閉じ込められたことがある。ついには船が氷に潰され、わしらはどうしようもなく海の上を歩いた。
Probably so many people died.
気づい
Yeah.
た時にはわししかいなかった。
どうして僕らはそうまでしてこんな北の島に住んでる？
Probably for your own protection away from those that may wish you harm. Oh my
う
god.
わ痛そう。これ何？
火を強くしてくれ。
The fact he's,
ねえ
I was
父上
gonna say,
もう死んでん
is he
だな。
alive?
手足腐ってるし。
But if he's doing
っていうか
CPR, he
まず
might,
いよ。
ju-
その人
well, he might be able to be
こ
brought
の村
back,
の
but
人じゃないわね。かわいそうに。どうしてあんな吹雪の中を。逃げた奴隷だよ。かくまったら揉め事になるよ。
he's a person.
逃げてきたんだよ。ここらより暖かく、海も凍らん。たくさんの入り江に守られたいい土地だ。ハラルドの軍勢は火の勢いで村々を制圧し、人々に迫った。王に服従するか、さもなくば、ノルウェーの地を去るか。
And they left.
多く
So
の
his
者
dad
が
must have been
ハラルド
among
の
them.
圧政を嫌い、支配の及ばぬ統一へ移り住んだ。
嘘だ。おっちゃんはやっぱり嘘つきだ。父上や僕のご先祖様が逃げたりするもんか。おっちゃんのバーカ。冒険
Oh, kids. Headstrong, man. Why would he lie? He has nothing to gain from lying. But he's trying so desperately to bring him back.
おかえり、トルフィン。
God! Okay.
おい、
Insane.
名を言えるか。
You'd think he'd be dead.
どこから来たんだ。
連れ戻されるのか。ハーフダン様のお屋敷に。
ハーフ団、やっぱり山の向こうから。
Take it that's going to be bad news if they're tracking him down. If they hide him, they could end up losing everything.
どこにも行くあてなんか。
But how could you send someone back is the issue.
来てくれ。ハーフ団が
Oh no!
連中また
See what I
なんか
mean?
難癖つけに来たんだ。あんたじゃないと相手できん。
There's a lot of them as well, and they're armed and ready to go.
鎖は人間に似合う唯一の首飾りだ。金でも銀でもね。鉄の鎖だ。そう思わんか。
No. No, I don't.
昨夜、俺の奴隷が一匹鎖を断ち切って逃げた。心当
Good.
たりはあるか。
どうせこないだの剣を蒸し返そうってんだろ。何度も
奴らとは何度も揉めてて、この間委員会で調停してもらったとこなんです。
あの喧嘩でてめえには左腕を切られた。
I'll cut off your other one.
よくも兄貴の足を切り落としやがったな。よさ。
Oh, it's all gonna kick off.
兄貴はもう二度と歩かねえ。野郎の足もぶった切ってやる。
Oh! Damn, he's fast with that chain, isn't he?
つなぐぞ、貴様。
Ah!
法は鎖だ。
Ah!
ゲドウどもはつながれて初めて人間の一員になれるのだ。忘れるな。逃げたのは若いスラブ人の男だ。心当たりはあるか。
My fucking god.
こんなに安らかな気持ちは初めてだ。
しっかりしろ。おい、あんた。気を張れ。死ぬぞ。
おふくろ、姉さんも。
So is what he's seeing the afterlife?
心配してたんだ。バラバラに売られたから。ここはどこなんだ。なぜ
Awful. Imagine being separated from your family.
遥かな西。海の向こうにヴィンランドという名の土地がある。そこは暖かく豊かで、奴隷商人も戦の炎も届かぬ遠い地だ。どうだ、いつか俺たちと一緒にその地で暮らさないか。
He's granting him peace and treating him like an actual person instead of a slave in his final moments.
ここはフィンランドというのか。
俺はその奴隷の正当な所有者だ。返してもらおう。
父上。
おいでトルフィン。かくまったんじゃないんですよ。あなたの奴隷が死にそうなとこを助けたわけでして。
ハーフ団、この男、いくらで買った？
Is he going to offer to pay for him? To liberate him?
筋2頭、若いメスだ。3頭やる。俺が買おう。そいつは連れて帰る。
Why?
他の奴隷の前で見せしめに拷問せにゃならん。
Oh god, he's tall.
ならば4頭だ。その倍といえば。だそう。すべて3歳以下のメスでな。
What a noble man. Wow.
くたばり損ないに羊8頭とはな。
He'll take it.
嘘。商談成立。
トールズ、それでそいつの鎖を解いてやったつもりか。それでそいつをどこへ連れて行く？
How could you not be proud of your dad?
姉上、悲しいの。
悲しいわよ。羊8頭もしたのにあっという間に死んじゃったのよ。
But it's not the point of him dying, it's the point of showing mercy and kindness to someone in need.
レイフのおっちゃんが、ご先祖様は東から逃げてきたって。逃げてここに来たって。
I think he's going to teach him a valuable lesson that running away is not always a bad thing.
じゃあ、ここからも逃げたい人はどこに行くの？
Vinland, I guess? He has a very square head. What's in the chest? Is it like his armor and his sword from the battle, indicating that his past is about to come back and haunt him? Most likely. This doesn't end how I thought it was going to end. I basically thought his dad was going to die and he was going to go on his grand adventure to Vinland in search of revenge, but it does look like somebody is coming on the big longship and is armed to the teeth. And he also has a very square head. His head's like that. I know it's the shape of the haircut, but I can't unsee it. What an interesting show so far. I have a feeling that that chest could end up being like the Attack on Titan key, where we're like, what's the significance of the chest? And then we eventually find it out. But I think because they actually showed us inside of it, it most likely is supposed to be symbolic of the past coming back to haunt him in the present. And the fact that he's teaching his children that it is not weakness to show mercy and kindness to those in need, that we need to be better in this world and not view ourselves as superior to others, that we can understand and empathize why people run away from suffering because we ourselves have done the same, or at least our ancestors have done the same. Rather than stand and witness tyranny, they chose to flee and protect themselves and their families and to make sure that their children never had to live under such a brutal regime. And they keep having these flashbacks to Vinland, and he was seeing his wife and his baby. And I thought that was in reference to the farm and in reference to where they were, not so much this place of fantasy and legends that everyone keeps going on about that they want to go to. I really enjoyed the animation, I really enjoyed the music, but I do still think that this is going to go on a revenge narrative. I think we have Thorfinn looking at his father with pride and admiration. I think something's going to happen to his dad, and that is going to be the catalyst for him going on his journey to avenge his father. But I also think it's going to then cause him to come into conflict with what his father's attempting to teach him, like kindness and understanding and being open to resolutions that don't result in violence. But if you've witnessed somebody that you love and care for possibly die before your eyes, you're going to be full of anger and rage, and you're going to be quite hot-headed in how you think. So I wonder then if what we'll see is if his dad dies and he does go on this like revenge journey, is if he feels torn between what his father was attempting to teach him but he was too young to fully understand, and this rage that is festering within him to avenge the man that he loves and admires and cares for deeply. If we're going to see a conflict between philosophies and him attempting to understand his father in a way that he never could because he was so young, but he also never got the opportunity when he was older because his dad was possibly already dead. I just have a feeling his dad's going to die. It's just there's a vibe happening in terms of we're seeing a lot of positive characteristics. This love and admiration for his family, this willingness to find peaceful resolution, this openness to change and emigrating to Vinland. But there's just something that's making me think he's not going to live for much longer. It's just the dynamic between him and Thorfinn and how Thorfinn's looking at him with admiration. And it's very similar in Attack on Titan how Eren is seen with his mum quite a bit in that first episode, and the affection that's between them and that care and admiration and that desire to stop him from joining the Survey Corps because she's scared that he will lose his life in the process and be subjected to things that no one should have to ever see. And then she ends up dying, and that becomes his catalyst for joining the Survey Corps. So I wonder if it's going to be similar, where we have Thorfinn looking at his father with pride and admiration and trying to take on and understand what his father's teaching to him. But because he's so young, he doesn't fully grasp it. But by the time he's old enough to understand, his father's already gone and he doesn't have anyone there to kind of help guide him, and therefore he goes slightly wayward. Maybe that's how I think it's gonna go. I think this could end up being a revenge narrative. It just screams to me Thorfinn is going to avenge his father because something tragic is going to happen to their family, and that the past is going to catch up with the dad because he was in this battle. He walked away from it. It honed in on the chest, the armor in the chest. There was somebody on the ship with a very square head that looked like he was out on a mission. And I know it was saying, like, where do people go when they're running away? Obviously, Vinland, that's where a lot of people are going. But I think that's not alluding to this person going to Vinland, but this person going north. But in the process, runs into Pause, and they have a past history, maybe. Because I don't think that man's on the way to Vinland, but we shall see. It was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it so far. If you enjoyed my react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!